你看看那个新加坡总理黄循财讲了什么话？黄循财好，我 repeat 一下，重复一下他讲的话的大概。黄循财总理怎么说？他说：“这个我们东南亚都把二次大战，的过去，放掉了，啊，我们都努力合作，啊，在处理未来的事。你不是指着中国人的鼻子骂吧？意思说中国人没有放掉二次大战。你没有想想看，高市早苗这个话是踩在中国人的历史伤口上。那你在跟他讲说，我们新加坡已经把历史伤口，我们东南把历史伤口都已经抚平了。高市长要不要踹你两脚？看你什么感觉？所以这个叫风凉话。那整体来讲，高市早苗装乖啊卖巧，会不会想要把这一生混过去？我个人认为，这已经是超乎政权、政府，甚至于国家、城市，已经上升到民主的阶段了。这个我不认为有任。
观众朋友们，大家好，我是 River， 我是新加坡人。这位教授说，新加坡王总理讲的是什么话？新加坡王总理讲的是人话，那么你讲的是嘴里吐不出象牙的话的王总理呢？去了海南博鳌论坛里面有演讲，他说各国需更灵活合作，那么中国可发挥重要作用，因为中国有那个科技。当然了，可以预知那些仇心反心的台湾媒体还有那些海外博主就会说，哎呀，新加坡他两条船哇，又亲日亲美又亲中国两头蛇他们一定会这样讲的。可是我发现一点那时候那个美国川普不是去马来西亚咯，跟那个安华签那个条约咯，说要把他的那个稀土好像是卖给美国那么签了一个不平等条约说不可以跟那个中国接触这个稀土的东西，说他们曾经签了个条约嘞。可是我没有见到那些仇心反心的台湾媒体还有海外的华人博主说，哎呀，这个马来西亚安华就是两头蛇没有听说过嘞。为什么这样因为一直在讲新加坡真的就是为了流量赚钱了。
But even large powers will find that a world where the strong do as they please is ultimately more dangerous for all. When rules give way to raw power, order breaks down, and no country, big or small, is truly secure.
我们的黄总理真的是演讲的是非常的不错的，而且呢，他上台之前呢，也是深深的鞠了一个躬所以非常的有礼貌，非常的谦虚。他讲的也是没有错的这个就是人话咯，不像那个教授说的是那个什么嘴里口不出象牙的话。
China is therefore well positioned not just to participate in the next wave of technological change, but to shape and lead this change. Singapore also believes that China can play an even bigger role in supporting regional prosperity and stability. International relations are increasingly shaped by geopolitical rivalry and zero-sum thinking. States feel less bound by rules and more inclined to act whenever they have the power to do so. Small and middle-sized countries feel this most acutely. But even large powers will find that a world where the strong do as they please is ultimately more dangerous for all. When rules give way to raw power, order breaks down, and no country, big or small, is truly secure. These geopolitical shifts are spilling over into the economic domain. For nearly 8 decades, the global economy prioritized efficiency, integrating markets, and optimizing production across borders. That model is being reworked. Resilience and security are taking precedence. Countries are moving to reduce dependencies and reconfigure how they engage with the global economy. All this makes it harder to address shared global challenges. Given the challenges we face, we cannot afford to wait for every country to move together at the same time and at the same speed. So we must find new ways to cooperate. To be clear, this does not mean abandoning multilateralism. On the contrary, we must continue to strengthen and reform global institutions, including the WTO and the United Nations, so that they remain effective and relevant. But alongside these efforts, we also need more flexible approaches to cooperation. One practical way is for smaller groups of like-minded countries and partners to create plurilateral arrangements. These can move faster to test ideas, set standards, and deliver results. We already see this practical and pragmatic approach at work. Agreements like the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, and the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, or the CPTPP, are advancing economic integration, while the Digital Economy Partnership Agreement, or DEPA, is breaking new ground in digital trade. These are not exclusive clubs. They are open and inclusive frameworks that set high standards and that others can join when they are ready. This may not be the ideal model for global cooperation, but in today's circumstances, it is a practical way to move forward and to sustain momentum. And if designed well, these coalitions can complement and reinforce one another and serve as building blocks for a more resilient global architecture over time. China has placed science, technology, and innovation at the center of its development strategy. It is already at the forefront in key emerging areas, including digital and green technologies. More importantly, it's advancing innovation at scale, accelerating adoption and driving progress across industries. China is therefore well positioned not just to participate in the next wave of technological change, but to shape and lead this change. At the same time, we see growing global interest in Chinese culture and innovation, from films, music and games, to consumer brands and digital platforms. This is especially evident among younger audiences around the world and reflects China's expanding influence in both the creative and digital economies. With its growing capabilities, China has contributed to global development, for example, through platforms like the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, and the Belt and Road Initiative. Singapore supported both initiatives early because we recognize their potential to enhance connectivity, generate opportunities, and uplift communities across the region. At a time of growing fragmentation, the world needs strong advocates for open and rules-based trade. Here in Hainan, the Free Trade Port stands as a concrete example of China's commitment to openness. And we hope China will continue in this direction, supporting open markets and strengthening confidence in a predictable and stable global trading system. Looking ahead, Singapore has confidence in China's long-term prospects. And that's why we've been a leading source of new investments into China for more than a decade. We will continue to partner China closely and deepen collaboration in areas of mutual benefit as both our economies evolve. We will also work with China to deepen its integration into regional economic frameworks. We also see tremendous potential for deeper cooperation between China and ASEAN. The recent upgrade of the ASEAN-China Free Trade Agreement will further strengthen our economic links. And there are opportunities to collaborate on shared challenges, for example, leveraging China's strength in renewable energy to support ASEAN's energy transition, including through initiatives like the ASEAN Power Grid. When Singapore assumes the ASEAN chairmanship next year, we will work with fellow member states to deepen regional integration and strengthen partnerships. In Asia, we will work closely with partners like China, Japan, Korea, and India. Beyond the region, we will expand engagement with key partners, including the Gulf Cooperation Council and the European Union. Asia's future will not be determined by circumstance, but by the choices we make. We can drift towards rivalry and fragmentation, or we can choose cooperation and openness. If we choose well, Asia can continue to be a source of stability, dynamism, and hope for the future. And the next 25 years can be even more remarkable than the last. This future is within our reach.
好的，谢谢大家。那么你们假如喜欢我的频道的观众朋友们，请支持我，请订阅我的频道，让我的频道冲到1000个订阅者。谢谢大家，后会有期。